Some movies have the power to change you. For me, one of those movies was The Karate Kid. So if it's been a while since you've seen it, it's about a kid who moves to a new town, doesn't quite fit in, and so he starts to get bullied. So he decides to take up karate in order to learn to protect himself. And in doing so, he ends up learning so much more than just how to fight. And in fact, he ends up learning to become more centered and more confident in himself. And of course, there's the crane technique. Anyway, beyond all that fun action, what the movie was really about was about the power of martial arts training to transform you personally and to build your inner strength and your character. And that's how it's been for me. When I was young, my sister, who was the light of my life, passed away, and it was really, really hard. And I retreated into myself and I became a bit of a loner. And sometimes at school, my emotions would get the better of me and I'd cry or I'd act out, and this would make me a very easy target for bullies. And so even though my parents didn't like the idea of putting me into martial arts, they were afraid it would make me more violent, they eventually gave in after the bullying really started to kind of ramp up. And so I began martial arts in order to learn to defend myself. But under the guidance of an amazing and a caring instructor, I began to feel increasingly more centered and more confident. And inside, that was really what I was craving. It felt so good to release all that built up anxiety and that tension in my body that I wanted to train all the time. I mean, you could say that I built this gym so that I always had bags to punch and always had workout partners to train with. Anyway, the funny thing though, is that when I opened the gym over 10 years ago, I noticed that a lot of the people who are drawn to martial arts are also people who feel like they're looking for something more than just how to fight or how to get a good sweat. A lot of them were searching for a way to develop their own inner strength, to help them cope with their own self-doubts or their own anxieties or their fears that are holding them back in their own lives. And what I've found over and over is that when people use the martial arts to drop back into their bodies and to reconnect with that inner part of themselves, something really amazing and life-affirming happens. You get to sort of break out of that shell and sort of shake off the dust from the day. It really feels like you're going from black and white to living in full color. You're more lively and engaged with your kids, with your relationships, with your work, and there's the added benefit of being surrounded by other people who are also on the same journey as you, who are developing themselves and becoming more confident and more grounded and secure in their lives too. And you guys push each other and you lift each other up. So if you resonate with what I'm saying here, then consider that maybe it's time to give martial arts a shot and see for yourself. I hope to see you on the mat soon.